So we're learning about multiple incidents that really should have raised a red flag, is what it's looking like on Aaron Alexis. But for some reason, these were ignored. Look at this. Police reported him to military authorities last month after they had a bizarre run-in with him at a Rhode Island hotel. Alexis told the investigators there that people were following him. He said he heard voices coming through the hotel walls. He then claimed that people were sending vibrations through his body and that was keeping him awake, and that they were using a microwave to send these vibrations. We also know that he saw a psychiatrist at a VA hospital 2 times in the past month.
And despite all that, Alexis was given secret clearance valid for 10 years, which gives him access to secure military facilities across the country. All that, by the way, from Rhode Island was reported to the Navy through police. Lawmakers want answers. The president ordering a full review. Peter Doocy begins our coverage back at the Navy Yard in Washington. When was the last background check that we know of on Aaron Alexis?
It was this summer, Bill. Less than 3. The contractor who had Aaron payroll for about 6 months in 2013 is now saying, and they're adding with this statement, quote, "We enlisted a service to perform 2 background checks, and we confirmed twice through the Department of Defense his secret clearance. The latest background check and security clearance confirmation were in late June of 2013 and revealed no issues other than 1 minor traffic violation." Now, the Wall Street Journal is also reporting that the Navy knew Aaron Alexis had a checkered recent past, but since he was never convicted of anything, he was honorably discharged, which means he got to keep that secret clearance for a decade. And this report also notes that you can lose in the Navy your secret clearance or any clearance for adultery, gambling, or alcohol abuse. But Aaron Alexis kept his. That kept his record clean. It also helped him buy a Remington 870 Express synthetic shotgun on Saturday because the federal NICS background check that the store contacted about Mr. Alexis said it was okay. Bill.
Peter, you were there watching these dramatic helicopter rescues on Monday morning. What more have you learned about those rescues?
Bill, I visited their hangar, the U.S. Park Police hangar, which is just over the Anacostia River on the other. You can see Building 197 from that hangar. And I learned from the crew that one of the first things they did when they got over here, it only took them a few minutes to get here, was pick up one of the first D.C. Metro police officers they saw. It was a canine officer who had to leave his dog on the ground, but they wanted him for his radio to make it easier to talk to D.C. Metro police on the ground. Shortly thereafter, they saw 4 people on the roof. We now know that was 3 employees who were looking for safety. They brought a 4th colleague of theirs who was badly bleeding up there. They were just trying to stay safe. The injured woman was hoisted up first, and the crew says the first thing she said was thank you.
She was incredibly brave and composed. I can't imagine being through what she had just gone through and being so composed myself.
In this scenario, the most reasonable thing was to get her out of that area. So we flew out of the area with her still hanging on the outside of the aircraft.
And the crew says those hoist operations they were doing on Monday are some of the most difficult things you can do in any circumstances, but because the conditions here were so bad, they were actually doing them with their windshield wiper running, and they say they knew that somebody could just stick a gun out the window or up the roof and start shooting at them at any time. But Sergeant Burchell says they are the rescue guys. Their job is to come and get you. And they did, Bill.
And a job well done. Peter, thank you. Peter Doocy leading our coverage. They're back at the Navy Yard today. Martha has more.